we finally did it. Bit the bullet and bought a drone, DJI Mini 3 Pro. The Pro has a couple of options that I wanted. One is the follow me feature, if you will, and the other is the several sensors for the obstacle avoidance, if for lack of better words. It's going to get kind of crazy here, a lot of jerky motions. I've never flown a drone before in my life, so I do apologize for that. Do the best I can with this voiceover. It's like the third time I've tried to do it. Hard to believe as much as I talk, but thought it'd be kind of neat to capture a few shots of the farm from the aerial. Last time I think we did this, it's been at least a year and a half since my buddy was here with his drone. I know they were still working on the bottom land then, so I'll try to go over a few things as we come around. I thought I edited out those quick turns, so I know probably a lot of you are already seasick, and I do apologize for that, but I was glad that the timing kind of worked out, because other than cutting the hay in the two spots there, me and my dad got a chance to mow everything, and we got the oats finished up. So the geese are in the front, and get a clip of those in a minute. Just a lot of panning around trying to learn the controls. I landed a couple of times, I went back up, so bear with me. I thought I edited that out, but evidently not. We're in the bottom land on the creek side. This will be where the corn is, of course, and a little vegetation there dividing the two sides. I won't plant anything on the other side this year. The city actually had a contractor here mowing the other side of the right-of-way, which is somebody else's property, so we got a couple shots of him here, and I go back in a little while once he gets closer down the gate. But my biggest problem, I think, with the drone was I was trying to watch it physically instead of watching the screen. Now we're at the property line looking back. Like I said, there's a little creek divider, so all this should be in corn next year, hopefully. Well, fingers crossed. That's what we're shooting for anyway. Brush pile. I couldn't figure out whether I wanted to film really low or really high, but I thought that, with farming coming up, and I had some issues in the combine the other day with the trying to do the oats, and film with nobody else. So I think the drone will help with that follow me feature. But here's the geese. They're having a field day with the oats that were dumping out of the bin since I had the trap door open on the unload auger. So I pretty much reseeded my whole oat patch, I think. But hopefully they're cleaning it up before it'll take hold. You'll see here in a few minutes how the oat patch is laid out versus how the field layout is. It's so much easier to kind of explain this from the air than it is on the ground pointing out. But they didn't really know what to do about the drone. I should have been up higher when I was filming them, because I won't say chase them, but they didn't like it the best. Here was a group left out, and I think when their necks are down bent like that, they're really getting aggravated, because they were making quite the racket. But anyway, you can see, look at the zigzag pattern there in the green grass. That was where I was walking, spraying, swinging the wand side to side and missing spots. And you can see a couple of patches that I definitely missed. I used Roundup Power Max 3. It killed everything, which I don't have any resistance to any of the weeds, but pigweed, ragweed, all of it. It sizzled it all. Now I'm sure I'll, run into issues that as time goes along when they build up a resistance to it, I guess. But you can also see there in between those two strips where I was walking and wasn't spraying far enough, so which has grown back quite a bit since I harvested it. But anyway, the hay's coming along pretty good. I'm hoping that the weather will hold out and I can get this last cutting off for those couple of customers, but I will say up front I'm not going to wait on the weather with that. I'll bush hog it down and roll it over with a plow. Still don't have a tedder. I will before we start the straw next year again, but so I've got to have a pretty good window of time to get it dried down. Not going to go through all that like I did last time. I think we're going back here to look at the utility contractor again. They had a pretty nice tractor. It says the city name on the front with utilities, but I don't think they were city workers. I think they hired it out, which is pretty common. But they opened the gate and came through, and all they had to do on my side was weed eat around the manholes. I didn't get any footage of that, but they're basically going from the property line out to the state road there. I should really, actually that belongs to, I think that little strip is cut up in two different people. I need to get in touch with them and see if they'd be interested in possibly leasing it out to me maybe. But you can see how populated it is. When I was in my 20s, I could probably throw a rock from the front field over to where those houses are built now. I couldn't now to save my life, but I think I finally got up enough confidence here to actually fly up pretty high. And I was still trying to learn how to get the, I guess, gimbal, for lack of better words, turned down, and the zoom button. That controller is pretty neat, so I don't have to worry about, you know, having my phone attached to it or anything. So, yeah, here we are. We're going back up, I think, high finally. It's really neat to see the perspective. I wish I still had the raw copies of the video of that, and I could throw some clips in, but you can definitely see a man when he gets some new herbicide how how he goes crazy in the farmyard there, all the brown spots. But I didn't have to get the weed eater out last time. But you see Glenda and 1086 tucked away there in the lean-to, and trailers around back, and the head for Glenda, and the carport offset, and the finished disc, the sprayer. I've got the hay wagon down there full of something. I need to get that back in the dry. And then over there, that little strip you can see in the top of the screen where the brown spots are, that's where I got in the yellow jackets. That's up on the hillside so bad a couple of years ago, and I've kind of been scared to go back up there and do much clear, and we just kind of keep it mowed down when I did get to clear. Of course, you can see the highway there in the background. And like I said, this side with that lone tree and the manhole down there and all that, I'll probably just leave this in grass for right now, hay, and out towards the highway until we see how things go. I don't want to jump in, you know, too far, too fast. But the little creek right there, the divider, so we're going to pan around that lone cedar tree. You can see the brown grass to the side of it. That'll be about the straight line. So it's almost a rectangle there for the cornfield, except for this diagonal property line there. So, but I hope to actually start plowing that in the next couple of weeks, because I'm not going to take any more hay off of that or anything. And I'm just going to do that basically to keep up with it throughout the winter and spring. So all I have to do is hit it with offset and smooth it out and be ready to plant corn. I don't have to fight all this grass and stuff because, you know, my schedule is so hard. But here's the way it is. You can see the oat patch was kind of planted at a 45 across that field and that knoll, but you can see the strip over there. So we almost have a rectangle field, except for the brush pile just to the right of the oats kind of messes it up. So that hillside, you can kind of see it there in the camera. You can see the red shining through. It's got a lot of clay there, and I could tell with the oats that it did not grow near as well as it did on the lower side or the upper side. So we'll just have to see how that works out. But I mean, it is what it is. Pan around here on Jack's old field, and you can see the fence line there. Well, you could. Pan way too quick. The dingy yellow grass here is where the water stands. Like I said, about 20 feet to the left of that cedar tree, it will be the line of the corn in the bottom. We'll keep it out of that low spot because it just, this fall, it'll be too wet to do anything with. It takes forever for it to dry out. You all saw that when I buried the 1086 there this spring. But I really don't know what I'm doing here. I guess just trying to get adjusted. I think I was waiting on him to crank up. I think I go over here and eavesdrop quite a bit on him turning that tractor back on and getting back after it. But I was kind of waiting to see if they were going to come to the gate, which they did, and everything was good. So they had a key to it like I was hoping. It's daisy lock between my lock and theirs. Not that I need to get over there for any reason, but we have not had any issues with trespassers since then. Everybody's obliged by the fences and whatever, so you know, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up my audio here, turn on a little music, and let the end of the video play out, and we'll just have to see what happens. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate what you do, and we'll see what happens over the next couple of days.